I'm Wendelle Stevens, retired Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force.
元空軍大佐である彼は、軍に在籍当時より UFO 現象を研究し、現在まで多くの調査を行っている。UFO 研究家である彼の数ある調査の中でも、1978年サウスカロライナ州チャールストンにおける UFO との遭遇事件は、そこに住むウィル・ヘルマン氏が UFO に連れ去られるというセンセーショナルな事実を報告している。その全容とは。
A case doesn't become real to me, though, until I have found independent corroborating evidence, something that the original witness knows nothing about, hopefully from witnesses who know nothing about the other witness, the one I'm studying, other things that have been seen or happened around him that he couldn't control. Now, if I find those things happening, then the case is clearly beyond his ability to fake. And then it becomes interesting to me, and I spend time and effort. One of the more interesting ones was a case that started in Charleston, South Carolina in 1978. Involved Mr. William Herman, and he observed this light flying a strange triangular pattern. And the pattern was sharp angular turns with quick reversals up and down. And when he focused it in his binoculars and looked at the light, it zoomed in and filled the whole screen, the whole view in the binoculars. And that astounded him. It scared him. He thought it was going to hit him. He fell back and stumbled and thought he was falling. And when he looked around, he was in a beam of blue light and ascending up the beam of light into an object, the huge circular object that was filling the sky, 70 feet in diameter. And he lost consciousness as he reached the bottom of the craft and woke up sometime later on an examining table with strange creatures around him. He saw strange little men, and another one was standing at his shoulder and one by his foot, and one was operating a device. And they frightened him at first because he'd never seen any creatures like this before. It seemed to be making changes in his life, but it was also became a problem in his area because his church took a position that all UFO phenomena were manifestations of the Antichrist, that they were diabolic, and therefore he was in league with the devil, and it actually cost him his job several times. Most people will take a position, well, if the government says it isn't real, then it isn't real. And so it only travels in very small circles who are actually involved, who are already sworn to secrecy. We have substantial evidence that the Russians have captured vehicles and bodies. They're studying them at a place called Norilsk on the Yenisei River up above the Arctic Circle, northern part of Siberia. The Chinese have captured craft and bodies. I suppose that a number of other countries do have them too, but strangely, in a number of cases, we have managed to get the crash residue from other Western-oriented countries, not from China or Russia. Actually, I don't think our government is hostile to extraterrestrials. I think that they have had a desire to capture a live one and to capture a vehicle that's operational to study and try to duplicate. And I think it's as simple as that. I don't think we wanted to kill them. I think that we wanted to get their technology any way we could, and we seem to have gotten some.
I've been involved in investigative work all my life, 15 years private investigator. Last 10 years I've been involved in an investigation out of Switzerland involving a UFO case, a contact case. And I first got involved with this through a friend of mine, ex-Air Force man, Lieutenant Colonel Wendelle Stevens, retired Air Force military intelligence. He got me interested in the subject of UFOs, and fascinating subject. We've done a lot of work in that field. The Billy Meier case involves a Swiss farmer. In 1975, his contacts began with extraterrestrials from a star system they named as the Pleiades. Mr. Meier, what made the case so fascinating to us as investigators was the fact that Meier was able to document through hard evidence most of his contacts and parts surrounding the Billy Meyer case. For example, he provided us investigators with not only the best photographs you've ever seen in 35 years of record keeping, but also movie footage, 8mm movie footage, sounds of the beam ship, the craft, over 40 witnesses.
So I've journeyed to Switzerland to see him, and I was invited to come back, and I stayed there for quite a period of time and got to know him quite well, and I guess you'd say I'm somewhat of an authority on Billy. Physically, he's like 5'8", 180 pounds, and a cheerful little guy that likes to watch the birds and gets up and appreciates nature. He's